Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we are journeying thousands of years into the past to witness one of the most epic and well-documented showdowns of the ancient world, the Battle of Kadesh. Get ready for a story of ambition, deception, and a clash of civilizations that would shape the course of history. Our story begins in 1274 BCE. On one side, we have the mighty new kingdom of Egypt, led by the young and ambitious pharaoh, Ramesses II. Ramesses, often called Ramesses the Great, was determined to restore Egypt's glory and reclaim territories in Syria that had fallen under the control of a rival power. And who was that rival? The powerful Hittite Empire, a formidable force from Anatolia, modern-day Turkey. They were led by their shrewd king, Muwatalli II. The prize they were fighting for was control over the strategic city of Kadesh, a vital trade hub located in what is now western Syria. For both empires, Kadesh was the key to dominating the entire region. Ramesses assembled a massive army, perhaps 20,000 strong, divided into 4 divisions named after the gods Amun, Ra, Ta, and Set. They marched for a month, a colossal procession of soldiers and chariots, heading north towards Kadesh. As they neared the city, Egyptian scouts captured 2 local nomads. These men claimed to be deserters from the Hittite army. They told Ramesses that the Hittite forces were terrified of the approaching Egyptians and had retreated far to the north. Feeling confident, Ramesses saw an opportunity. He decided to push ahead with just 1 division, the Amun division, to seize Kadesh quickly, leaving the other 3 divisions trailing far behind. This was exactly what the Hittite king, Muwatalli, had hoped for. The 2 nomads were actually Hittite spies, and their story was a brilliantly crafted lie. In reality, the entire Hittite army, with thousands of heavy chariots, was hiding just behind the city of Kadesh, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. As Ramesses and his Amun division set up camp, completely unaware of the danger, the trap was sprung. Suddenly, 2,500 Hittite chariots thundered out from their hiding place. They crashed into the unsuspecting Ra division, which was still marching to catch up. The attack was devastating, and the Ra division scattered in chaos. The Hittite chariots then turned their attention to Ramesses' own camp. Panic erupted, the Egyptian camp was overrun, and for a moment, it seemed the pharaoh himself was doomed. But Ramesses was not just a king, he was a warrior. According to the Egyptian accounts, he personally led a desperate counterattack. He rallied his personal guard and the remaining soldiers, praying to the god Amun for strength. He charged into the fray again and again, a legendary display of courage that managed to hold the line. Just as things looked their bleakest, a stroke of luck saved the Egyptians. A separate force of Egyptian allies, who had been traveling along the coast, arrived unexpectedly on the battlefield. Their arrival caught the Hittites by surprise, who were busy looting the Egyptian camp. This gave Ramesses the breathing room he needed to regroup. The battle raged on, turning into a grinding, brutal stalemate. By nightfall, both sides were exhausted, with thousands of casualties. The next day, neither side had the strength for a decisive fight. Muwatalli and the Hittites held the field, but they hadn't crushed the Egyptians. Ramesses had survived, but he hadn't captured Kadesh. Realizing he couldn't win, Ramesses declared a victory and marched his battered army back to Egypt. So, who actually won? That's the million-dollar question. Ramesses returned home and covered the temples of Egypt with magnificent carvings and inscriptions proclaiming a glorious, single-handed victory. He painted himself as a hero who had defeated the Hittites against all odds. For years, this was the only version of the story we knew. But then, archaeologists discovered the Hittite archives, which told a very different story, one of a successful ambush that stopped the Egyptian invasion in its tracks. In reality, the Battle of Kadesh was probably a draw. The Hittites kept control of Kadesh, but the Egyptians proved they were a force to be reckoned with. What's truly fascinating is what happened next. 16 years after this bloody conflict, the 2 empires, realizing they couldn't destroy each other, signed one of the world's first ever peace treaties. Copies of this treaty, the Treaty of Kadesh, have been found in both Egypt and Turkey. It promised eternal peace and brotherhood between the 2 nations. The Battle of Kadesh is more than just a clash of armies. It's a masterclass in propaganda, intelligence, and the brutal reality of ancient warfare. It shows how 2 powerful empires ultimately chose peace over endless war. Thanks for joining us on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next historical adventure. See you in the next video.